Hey everybody, it's Shakira and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another healthy recipe video for you. We're going to be making a homemade pasta and pesto dish. We're not going to be making the pasta homemade, but the pesto sauce is going to be homemade and it's super duper simple. So I'm going to show you the steps, the ingredients, and let's get started. Okay, here we go. So this is everything that we're going to be working with today. You definitely will need a blender for this recipe, and this is the best gluten-free pasta you will ever taste in your life. And you can get it at any health food store. And because I know that watching pasta water boil is not fun, we are just going to go ahead and fast forward through this. I boil my pasta in a little bit of water, and you want to set the timer for 15 minutes so that it doesn't get too soft. And then we're going to go ahead and prep our veggies. Now these are the veggies that I'm working with, and we're also going to add a handful of spinach at the end. But you can always switch it up and customize this recipe however you like. Now I decided to sweat the garlic and the onion on its own just so that we can get it a little soft, get a little bit of the flavor in the oil before we add in our mushrooms. So toss that a little bit, make sure it's, kind of yellowish as you can see here. And then we're going to add the mushrooms or whatever other veggies you decide to add. I think zucchini would work well with this, the zucchini squash. The yellow squash, maybe peppers would work well in this too. So customize it however you wish. This is just what I had on hand. Now after the mushrooms, the onions, and the garlic have cooked a little while, you want to go ahead and add some of these sun-dried tomatoes. This is totally optional, but I found that it added just a hint of sweet texture with this dish, and it was really delicious. But the idea here is to make sure the other veggies have been cooked fairly well, and you're almost at the end of the process. Toss well and allow to cook for a couple more minutes. Okay, so now for the start of our video, we're going to put both of those containers of basil into the blender. I also have 2 cloves of garlic at the bottom of the blender. We're going to juice 1 whole lemon. This is a juicy lemon too. Make sure you have a juicy one. Juice it all into the blender. And then we're going to start to season just for taste. Now that's a little bit of cracked black pepper. And then we're going to add some olive oil. And then we're going to add some pink Himalayan salt. And finally, our blanched almonds. I really would have preferred some raw almonds, but there were none. You'll also probably want to add a little bit of water, as you can see I'm doing here, just to make sure the blender is going really well. And then I'm adding a little bit more olive oil. All in all, we probably have 1/4 of a cup of olive oil and a little less than 1/4 of a cup of the water. Now we must check on our veggies, and they are pretty much done, and that's when we're going to do just a handful of the spinach. I don't want to cook the spinach all the way through. We want to keep some of the crunch in this recipe, and the heat will wilt it just perfectly. Okay, so now it's time to build our bowl. I'm using about 1/3 of a cup of this sauce, and I actually ended up using more. I probably ended up having about 1/2 a cup of the sauce because it was so good and creamy and delicious. It was just amazing. And so you want to toss really well. Make sure everything is blended really well. Give it a taste. See what you might need. And then that's when you're going to start to add your vegetables and your other toppings. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.